Hey tired moms, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to go ahead and jump into this video. Today I'm going to tell you guys my labor and delivery story because when I was pregnant I didn't know how labor and delivery was going to be, but I'm going to give you guys details because I was induced. Y'all, he's laughing at this little pony, so just excuse him. So I'm just gonna get into the story. So I delivered at 36 weeks. Um, I delivered at 36 weeks because I was it 35 or 36? I think it was 30. Might have been 35. I don't know. But I delivered around 35, 36 weeks. But the reason I delivered early is because I had preeclampsia. Now, I did not get preeclampsia until my 30th week. That's when everything just went crazy. Like, my blood pressure was high. I had to go to the doctor literally every week. That last week that I delivered, I was at the hospital probably 3 times before I actually delivered him. Now, that was just that last week. The week before that, which was probably the 34th or the 35th week, I can't remember how many weeks I carried. I think it was 36. Yeah, it was right at 36. So the 35th week, y'all, I went to the hospital like probably 3 or 4 times that week for high blood pressure. I didn't have any symptoms or anything like that. It's just every time I went, they took my blood pressure, it was high. So, yeah, so what else? So I'm just gonna get into the how I was induced. So I finally got admitted to the hospital to give birth. They moved me to the labor. Yeah, they moved mommy to the labor and the delivery wing. He always try to pull my wigs off, y'all. Always. But they moved me to the labor and delivery wing. They had some papers. They explained to me, okay, this is what could happen during birth. Um, Basically went over all the things that could happen negatively, like, you know, I stopped breathing, or if something's wrong with the baby when he was born, stuff like that. And they'll go over these papers with you. You'll sign them, X, Y, and Z. Then they'll actually start you on the medicine to induce your labor. So they start you on a low dose and then they slowly increase it. They'll give it to you through an IV. They was giving me the medicine. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a medicine that they'll give you to induce your labor, and fluids too, like IV fluids, just to keep you hydrated. So my plan was to do it natural. Look at him. My plan was to do it natural, but we'll get to that in a minute. So when I went in, I was already at 2 centimeters. So what she did after they gave me the medicine, about an hour later, they came in, and well, my nurse came in and she was like, it was this little balloon. She was like, we're gonna stick it in your vagina. Sorry if this is just too much, but I want y'all to know like how my experience was, because you probably will kind of go through the same thing. So she was like, I'm gonna put this balloon in your vagina and I'm gonna pump it up. It's gonna be a size of, what was it, a golf ball? I can't remember what size it was, but she would insert it first. First it was flat, and then she inserted it and pumped it a little bit, and then she was like, okay, I'm gonna come back in an hour and I'm gonna tug on it. She was like, it may take like a couple tries for me to tug on it, but if I tug on it once and it comes out, then you're at least 4 centimeters dilated. So when she said that, she meant that I hope y'all can hear me. She meant that let me get his passy. Here you go, Buddha. She meant that you know, she'll come in one time, tug once. If it comes out, she'll wait a while, come back in, tug again, and so on and so forth. So she came back in like an hour. An hour went by super quick. I didn't feel any contractions or anything at this point. And she tugged on it and it came out the first time. So it was super uncomfortable. I hated being in the bed and having to like when I had to go to the bathroom, I had to get all the way up, bring the machine, the IV machine with the fluids that was, pumping into me. I hated that because it was super, like, it just got in the way, and I just did not like it. And due to the fact that they were giving me fluids, I didn't have a catheter in or anything, it kept, like, my bladder kept going. Like, I kept having to go to the bathroom and all that. So, when the balloon came out, like an hour later, so now we're like probably 3 hours into, no, probably 4 hours into me being induced. She checked me still, and she was right. I was 4 centimeters. So then, after that, it was just like a waiting period. She came back and checked me every now and then. I didn't start feeling contractions until after my water broke. Now, I was checked into the hospital like around 2 on a Friday, and I gave birth to him. No, I was checked into the hospital around like probably, I don't know, probably 3 or 4. I can't really remember what time I was actually checked into the hospital, but time had gone on, and now it's like, I don't know, I just know it was dark outside, and it was in the middle of the night because I was asleep. And my doctor came in. I have a male and female husband and wife physician, so if one's not working, the other's working. So the husband came in, and he was like, "How are you feeling, everything?" I told him I was feeling good, and we spoke about my water. My water had not broke yet, so he was like, "Okay, we're gonna break your water." Now, he told me they were gonna break my water after the fact that the nurse that was in here, they're assisting him, like, I was asleep all the way up to the point where I felt something on my vagina. Like, and then I woke up, and he was like, "Hey, how are you feeling?" And all this. And I was like, "I'm feeling good." That's when the conversation started. So then he was like, "I'm gonna put something down there." I don't know, but he put something down there. The nurse gave him like a little thing, I guess, to break my water, and it broke. And he was like, "Okay, so from now on, you're gonna be leaking a lot." I was leaking a lot. So I had a lot of water, a lot of fluid, and hold on, let me get him something to play with. Here, boo. You want a bib? And so after he broke my water, like, I started feeling contractions. I don't remember how far along I was dilated, but I know after my water broke is when I start to feel the contractions. So before I had even got close to my delivery date, I tried to have a plan, but you can never really be ready. But what I did was I put together me a playlist of encouraging music, encouraging songs. I'm very big on prayer and God, so I had already, prepared my mind for it. And the contractions were hitting hard. Now, contractions, I'm going to try to explain them to you. They feel like heavy cramps. Like, they really feel like heavy cramps. Now, it really depends on how you react to cramps and with your pain level. I never cried during my labor and part. I never cried. I only cried when I had him and I seen him. I cried. But a little bib shifting. But I never cried. So it was, to me, it was hard, but it wasn't the hardest part, because the hardest part was later on. But anyways, so when he broke my water or whatever, I started laboring, and they started getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I had my music in. I was doing really, really well. And then it just got to a point where I was so tired. Like, felt like I had ran a marathon, like 2 or 3 marathons, and I wasn't, like, it wasn't time for me to push it. But I was just so tired. Like, oh my goodness, I was so tired. And with the contractions and being tired, that is really, really hard. So what I ended up doing was getting the epidural. I got an epidural at 9 centimeters. The nurse was so sweet. She tried to talk me out of it. She was like, girl, you're almost there. You're at 9 centimeters. I was like, but I'm so tired. Like, I need some rest. I need some rest for me to be able to push this baby out. So I got the epidural, and it was perfect. Like, it was just enough for me to get a good rest in. And then now the epidural does slow down your labor and delivery. When I got the epidural, I didn't have him until like 3 more hours later. It would have been quicker if I didn't do the epidural, but epidural slows things down. So I was at 9 centimeters for a very long time. I was able to get some sleep. Now when it came closer to time for me to push, I was telling them, like, you know, I still feel contractions. I started to feel contractions again. They were not bad, but I felt them. So they gave me a little more, what's it called, a little more epidural. Now with the epidural, it did not hurt going in my back at all. Like, I can't explain it, but the lady that did it, she did really good. Like, I didn't feel it. I forgot it was in my back. Like they put it in your back, and then you have this like an IV tube, so they could pump the epidural in your back. So it's not like each time, you know, they keep poking you in the back. No, they just feed it through the little tube, and then it goes in your back. It did not hurt at all. Like, I literally forgot. Me thinking about it, I'm like, that would have been painful if I would have like moved the wrong way and felt it or something. But I didn't feel it, y'all, and I was moving a lot during childbirth. So time comes to push, and I'm starting to feel a little contraction, so they gave me a little more epidural, and then it got to a point where they were like, okay, you're really close, like, we can't give you no more. So I was pushing and pushing and pushing, and he was stuck under my pelvis. Is my pelvis? Yes, he was stuck under my pelvis. So it was like, oh my goodness, like. And then in the delivery room, it was the doctor, the lady doctor, my wife, not my wife, but the lady doctor. You know, I told you it was a lady and a man. They were a couple. They had a physician together. They were my gynecologist. She was there to deliver the baby. She was so encouraging. She was like, it's okay, you got it. Everybody was so nice and sweet. I delivered at Emory in Atlanta. They were so nice. So then yeah, I finally delivered him, and while I delivered, like, they were, I guess it was, I don't know what you call it, but students were in the room, med students were in the room. I didn't have no problem with that, girl. I'm like, girl, if you can learn from this, go ahead. So I really didn't care. After that, I had him, and he was 3 weeks early. He was 3 weeks off of the due date that they gave me. So, but he was still good. He was 6 pounds, 12 ounces. He was still really, really good. He didn't want to be bothered. And he's still kind of like that now. Like, he wasn't crying. He was just looking around like, who are these people? Like, and when, you know how they have the baby monitor on your stomach, monitoring the baby, like, during labor and stuff, he would kick that off. The nurse had to keep coming back in, readjusting the little thing on my stomach, because he was like, what's going on? So he was very quiet. And then when they got him to weigh him and everything, he finally started crying because he was mad. He was like, who are these people touching me? But he was just looking around. Say, I was just looking around. Say, I'm a chill baby. I'm a chill baby. So yeah, that's basically my labor and delivery story. Like, I really hope this can help somebody. I really hope this explains, you know, how the process may be if you get induced. After I delivered him, he didn't have to go to the NICU. Everything was good. He had to stay in the nursery for 24 hours and everything like that. And here he is. Say hey. Here he is 7 months later. Say 7 months later, and he is so busy. He's a busy baby now. Like, but he only cries. He's a mama boy too. He only cries like if he's hungry or if he's sleepy, and he's very, very attached to me. So like, if I drop him off to the babysitter, he used to stay with the babysitter, but now, girl, he don't be trying to stay with the babysitter. He'll cry. So he's very attached to mommy, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. So yeah, so yeah, that's my labor and delivery story. I'm gonna do another video on how my postpartum was, because to me, the healing part to me almost sent me into postpartum depression. Like, girl, it was crazy. And I ended up having to get stitches as well, internal stitches. I didn't rip externally, but internally I did. So they had to stitch me up in the inside. So the healing was like the worst part for me, like the worst part. So anyways, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Tamia. This is my baby Kai. Kai, he is so busy. Kai, say hey. Say hey. Hey. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you tired moms later. Bye.